going to be a very interesting live stream. And if you're watching this later on, you're probably going to go, what just happened? Because I've got a lot on my mind and there's a lot going on. And I don't know how to put this outside of, I've just had to make some very hard decisions over the last 3 days. And it hurts that I had to make some of these decisions because I had to let go of some people out of my life. And it's not, to me right now, it makes sense. To me right now, it's something that will, at the end of the day, probably benefit me and benefit my kids. So I had to let go of the three amigas. And if you don't know who the three amigas are, the three amigas are were really good friends of mine, really good female friends of mine. And I had to let them go because they just started getting too toxic for my life, especially since I'm rebuilding. And now that I've got some momentum with this channel, and I've got momentum with the RV channel, and I've got plans on growth on a couple other channels, there's going to be a point in time, guys, where I'm probably going to retire from the RV industry. There's going to be a point in time where I'm just going to buy a truck, hook this thing up, and travel the country and just do RV shows. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to that point, but it's probably going to be late next year. I don't know yet. I don't know where that's all going to go or how that's going to be, but I can't have dead weight. And these three have been friends of mine, platonic female friends of mine for years, and they've just gotten more and more and more toxic as the years have gone on. And what I mean by toxic is I showed them what I'm doing on this channel with AI and funny videos and things of that nature. And I'm finding out more and more that they don't have the same vision I do for life. They've been trying. So I don't know if you guys know this, and you guys probably don't know, but I actually have met someone that I'm very much feel like is my person. And while I don't know if it'll work out, probably won't, because there's just so many things going on that are against me. These three needed to go. So I let them go. They were friends of mine. They've been friends for over 10 years. And I had a long conversation with them last night and told them they just got to go. I can't deal with them anymore. You know, I was trying to explain to them that the reason why I've been patient with this woman that I basically fell in love with, and why I've been trying to just have patience and have grace. And they got like super pissed off at me on Friday night. They got so mad at me because they're like, well, we have like three friends we want to introduce you to, and they're young and they're vibrant, and you're an up and coming YouTuber, you're an up and coming TikToker, and you need someone that, you know, isn't gonna, you know, leave you in the dark and not communicate with you and string you along or breadcrumb you or all this stuff. And I allowed them to basically have their say and have their piece. And then I explained to them kind of the situation and why I made the decision to kind of just back off and just let things kind of happen naturally. And they got mad at me. They were just so pissed. They feel like I kind of like abandoned them or whatever. So last night I had to tell them, like, I'm done. I'm done with the three of them. They just can't. I can't have them back in my life, you know. And then I had to get rid of 2 other people yesterday. Just had to just like let them go. You know, I'm finding out the more I grow with this whole YouTube thing, with the whole TikTok thing, with the AI stuff, the podcast, the RV channel, the more I've grown, the more I'm starting to finally get some traction and make money and, you know, start making some things happen and have a better understanding of how it really works, the more I'm having to cut people off. And as much as that probably sounds sad, in the end, if they really wanted to be in my life, this is why I like tell any young man that comes around and asks me for advice, the first piece of advice I give a young man is, if somebody wants to be in your life, they'll make the time for it. Right? When somebody is ignoring you, or when somebody's overcompensating and getting mad at you for things that you have nothing to do with, or like not a part of the control or anything you have, then they just don't want to be in your life. Like when you text, like I texted someone because they said they wanted a ride, and I never got a text back, right? All weekend, didn't get one text back about it. I'm not going to text over and over again, do you need a ride, do you need a ride, do you need a ride? No. Obviously, if they needed a ride, they would call me, they would text me. So, you know, I was telling some of the folks that have asked me why I've let so many people go over the last year, it's because I keep growing and people keep walking out of my life. And there's only a handful of people that that have shown me they want to be in my life. And then there's everybody that's online. It's hilarious. I actually have better connections with people through social media than I do in my own personal life, because a lot of the folks that I talk to on the level of content creation, we have so much in common. So it's like I have that mindset, that mind shift that has occurred. Let me grab my soda real quick. So there's been this mind shift in me that has kind of started happening more and more. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing, where I'm just done. I'm done dealing with people that don't want to deal with me, right? You know, if somebody wants to be in my life, they'll show up. That's how I feel about things anymore. Like, I'm just too old to play games. I'm too old to chase people. I rather chase money and chase my dream and chase my ambitions. You know, I'll put you like this, guys. I mean, this is something I would tell young men a lot, especially when it comes to like our mental health. I'm going to talk about this on the mental health channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. On the mental health end, you know, when it comes to our health as men, or even women, or as human beings, one of the biggest things that I'm trying to convey to folks is, like, I'm very much in love with a woman. Very much. Like, she is everything I ever wanted. Thank you so much. She is absolutely everything that I could have asked for in life. And if she doesn't want to be in my life, then I simply have to let her go. I can't force somebody to want to be in my life. It's the same thing when it comes to friends. I have a great friend of mine I had for 15 bloody years. Okay? And I had to let him go. I stopped texting and reaching out and calling him. I know he calls other people. I know he has time to call other people. He just doesn't want to deal with me. If he wanted to be in my life, he'd call me. He'd text me. He doesn't want to be in my life. You know, I have basically 5 people that call me. That's it. 5 people. One's my, you can call her baby mama. She calls me to check on me. You know, so I consider the 3 of them, my kids and their mother, to be one person, okay, because they all call me on one phone. My friend Archie, he calls and checks on me a lot. My friend Doug, my friend Greg, we call him Lucius. My friend Steve, the shipman. You know what? I'm sorry. Only 4. That's it. Of all the people I've met, all the people I've learned, even the girl that I'm, you know, even the woman I want in life, she doesn't call me every day. I mean, she's got other things going on. There's a whole backstory behind that, so I'm not gonna like. That's a whole different ball of wax. We're not gonna count that, okay? That's a whole nother scenario, right? We won't get into that, but just a case in point, like, we have to keep our mental health together. If people want to be with us, if people want to be in our lives, they'll be in our lives. So, you know, and there's a lot of you that have been with me for the entire now 4 years. No, the entire 5 years and 4 months that I've been doing YouTube. There's a lot of you that have been with me since day one and are still here with me 5+ years later. You never left. I know you guys, because a lot of you send me emails or DMs. You guys always reach out making sure I'm okay. But in all reality, and there's guys that have reached out that I don't call back because I don't want to involve them in my bullcrap. You know, there's still some things screw up in here. This is not screwed on all the way. It's getting there. I'm almost there with it. But there's still some things that are not 100% right with me that I'm still working on, right? One of the things I'm working on with myself is I'm trying to be healthier. I'm trying not to, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to make sure that everything I'm going through is put out there through content. That's kind of my therapy. This channel has been my therapy. This channel here has been the ultimate therapy because a lot of the AI stuff I put out and a lot of stuff I create, a lot of stuff I repurpose, a lot of stuff I have created for me, all that stuff is just jokes, and a lot of it comes from personal experience. Living in a car, sleeping on football fields when my kids were born. I was completely homeless then, didn't have any place to stay. Now I own a fifth wheel toy hauler that I'm gonna fix up and make into a studio as well as my home. Who knows? Maybe one day she'll move in. And the day if she ever moves in, if it comes to fruition, if what I hope happens, I'm gonna get her started on her podcast because she's got so much to say and so much to do and so many things that I think if I put her with her own channel and her own podcast with headset and a microphone, I guarantee you the world would fall in love with her. Guarantee you. It is guaranteed you guys would fall in love with her because she's as real or more real than I am about things. She really is. And maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. We don't know. Do I want it to work out? Of course. You know. But I have to keep my ambitions going. I can't just stop and sit around and wait for things to happen. I gotta go make things happen. And that's what I'm doing. But it's gotten interesting. And I'm tired of the lies. I get tired of lies. So I have a friend of mine, well, was a friend of mine, no longer a friend of mine. She's no longer a friend of mine because she's cheating on her boyfriend, a guy that takes really good care of her. So let me tell you a story. So I'm sitting down with 4 of my friends. Okay, they're all female. They're no longer friends now, but 4 friends. And one of their iPhone keeps going off. Like, it just nonstop calling. And I'm like sitting there and I'm watching it because this is vibrating. It's vibrating FaceTime. And it's a phone number. I don't remember the area code, but I was like sitting there looking like, aren't you going to answer that? And one of our friends, Sasha, reaches over and she says, well, if you don't want to answer it, I will. Grabs the iPhone, about to answer the FaceTime, and we're having pizza. We're having like Italian pizza, okay? We're having like spaghetti, and we're at this like roundish table. So you gotta understand that you gotta reach over the pizza. So she reached over candles and pizza, burned her forearm, and reached over and snatched the iPhone out of Sasha's hand, got up from the table and walked away. Well, come to find out, the person that was FaceTiming her is the guy that she's cheating with on her live-in boyfriend. But she didn't want everybody to know that, because everybody knows the guy that she's with pays her bills, pays her rent. She doesn't lift a finger, but yet she's screwing around on him with who we find out is a guy that's sitting around on his mom's couch with a food stamp card and like 2 baby mamas with 5 kids. And we're like just sitting there like, what is it? Why is our world that screwed up where people get that bored that quickly with people? It's just crazy. I mean, I was sitting there like mind blown. Like, I'm sitting here, you burned your hand, your forearm, on the candles and the pizza because you didn't want this friend group that's been friend group for over 10 years to know that you're cheating on the guy that everybody loves. That's crazy. Nuts. That's why kind of like some of the new AI stuff and some of the new skit stuff and meme stuff I'm doing has to do with that. So it's a little crazy. And I'm just sitting there like thinking about it right now. I'm like, man, that was a couple months ago. So just, we all have craziness that goes on in our lives. And no matter how we look at things or how we look at life or what we're looking at, we really need we as human beings really need to take a step back and breathe and realize that we have a lot to be thankful for. Do you know that I've been alone, like really alone, for about 3 years? You know how it's not a necessity in my life. It's not a necessity in my life. But do you know how much it would be amazing to wake up to the woman I love almost every day? Do you know how amazing it would be to hold her, to cuddle with her, to have breakfast together in the morning, to build something together? Do you know how amazing that would be? If she ever and I'm saying this very, very like hypothetically, if she ever decided to make it happen, if she ever decided to take the plunge and build this with me, I would never step out of the relationship ever. Do you know how rare it is to find somebody that loves that deeply? You know, if you're bored, communicate boredom. I'm bored, the sex sucks. I'm bored, there's no excitement. You know, how can we spice things up in our life? Maybe we can go to an amusement park and go on a roller coaster. Maybe we can go to a nightclub at 45 years old and shake our booties until our backs are sore and, you know, do stuff that we did when we were young, and then we'll figure out how old we are in the morning because we're going to recuperate. You know, it's just one of those things that, for me personally, if I ever got the opportunity, I would never let her go. I would always make it work. Like, it would be ride or die. Literally. So that's why I just don't understand the whole cheating thing. I don't understand why people cheat. You know, you find someone that takes good care of you, man or woman, takes really good care of you. How do you go out and cheat on them? You know, nobody's perfect. No relationship, no friendship, no family is perfect. So it just never makes any sense. What is this? I've never seen this before. Huh. So anyway. Well, I'm going to remove some more carpet. So, we're going to go into the living room. It's a disaster, but we're going to remove more carpet. So that's what we're going to remove. Now, I'm going to turn the camera around. I know it'll be a little bleh, but I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to... Oop, that didn't work out the way I wanted to. That's all right. Lower. There we go. So we're going to rip out all this carpet tonight, just because it's time to. It's time. It's time. It's Christmas. Well, Halloween, sorry. So the carpet's nasty. So I'm just going to put some gloves on. And I'm going to rip this thing out. Now, the reason why I'm ripping out this carpet tonight is because I really don't have anything to do tonight that is productive besides live streaming with you guys. So we're going to put on the gloves and we're going to rock and roll this sucker. Now, like I was saying earlier, my goal behind this is to turn this into the studio. So this is all going to be, everything back there is going to be the studio. And everything here is going to be, well, you can take a guess. So, okay. All right. Oh, it stinks. Now I just need to figure out how I'm gonna get this all up and away. Hey, gotta get rid of this. So I need my little flat blade screwdriver. Where's that thing at? Haha! Little flat blade. Because it's just nailed in. It's not like it's... Oh, God. I'm either the biggest idiot in the world or this. There we go. See, just got to get this up. See? Because all it is nailed or tacked in. It's not like, see, it's just nailed in with little nails. So that's all I'm doing right now is trying to get this up, because what I did, it connected the laminate to the carpet. And what I'm trying to do is I'm going to remove the laminate as well eventually. Ooh, it smells. Ugh. It's 20 years of just yuck and stink and crap. So, that's what we're going to do. This is a fifth wheel toy hauler. So this is going to be my house. This is going to be my tiny home, my studio, and my office. So all those AI videos and little meme and joke videos I either repurpose or redo for this channel, I'm going to start doing in here because it's going to be my new home. So, crap. So right now I'm just trying to get this carpet up because this carpet's nasty. It's been here probably 20 plus years, and you know, it's been through a couple owners. I have dogs and side by sides, and it just stinks. And you know, my goal is I want to get this thing finished and done before December of 2025 is going. I want to be able to decorate it for Christmas. So I'm trying to get it all squared away and done. And I'm gonna get some free laminate from a buddy of mine. See, so I can hold on and get this thing all squared away. See, so this little trim piece I'm gonna hold on to. But see, it's just nasty. It's just nasty. See, and then the carpet is so much easier to rip up now, because see, all you got down there is like tacks and wood and stuff. So I'm gonna put on my shoes so I don't step on any nails or shit like that. So give me a sec, let me get my shoes on. And then we're going to tear this carpet up and get rid of it. And I'm going to open up the door because it's freaking stuffy in here tonight. That can go down there for now. Perfect. Now the door's open. Let some air in here because it's stuffy. Tie the shoes. Rip up the carpet. Oh, never mind. The wind closed the door. So, it's kind of what we're going to be doing. Now, if you're wondering why I live stream this because... See, so even though this is cushiony, this thing is really held down by tacks. So, you know, and I can clean all this stuff out as I go along, right? So, see, it's just nasty. It's just nasty. That's why we're wearing gloves. And that's why I cut holes to grab. You know, so we got to take those out. One of the gloves ripped. Typical. That's okay. Actually, both gloves ripped. Look at that. Both gloves ripped. So we'll be washing hands. At that point, what I'm going to do is, while we're doing this, since I tore those gloves, I'm going to get the hot water heater going. So we're going to come outside. We're going to hook up water. Because I may, at the end of the day, have to take a shower. Deeper clean than I thought, which is fine. Okay, so we're in the dark. And what I'm going to do is hook up the water line to the RV. And we're going to turn on the hot water heater. Wow, I'm almost doing this one-handed. Okay. 1 second. 1 second. Here we go. So I want to get that nice and tight. Okay, that's all done. Now we're going to turn on the water and turn on the hot water heater. Because it looks like I'm going to get pretty dirty doing this. Dirty and stinky. Okay. Water's on. Now we're going to flip on the hot water heater. First, I'm going to open the door a little more, because that way it lets some of the air in. Now, I've been told, why don't I create an OnlyFans? Somebody asked me the other day why I have not created an OnlyFans. First of all, I'm not that kind of worker. And second of all, no. Okay, hot water heater is going. Rock and roll. So hot water heater's going. We got to remove these things. So let's put the station back where we were. I activated Siri. Okay, so we got to take this out first. So hopefully. Of course the screw's stripped. You gotta be shitting me. Okay. So let's see if we can cut around it. I'll take the power drill and take that out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a carpet here, a rug, and I'm going to take out the wooden nails and everything, and I'm going to put a rug here, a big rug that's going to cut around for the living room. And then what I'm going to do is I'll show you where I'm going to put the TV. That's going to be awesome. So I'm kind of excited about that. You know, and I'm going to put laminate down, because laminate, I can get laminate for free, and just going to be easier to lay down and fix a lot of the problems that have occurred. I got to clean the tanks. I mean, I got a lot of work to do in between Ubering, in between doing a lot of content creation, in between actual work, my 9 to 5. A lot of work to do every day. 41 years old. I got my life pretty much really on track. It just, like I said, there's just one thing missing, and I'm hoping eventually she won't be missing anymore, but you never know. I don't depend on people that don't want to be in my life. If they want to be in my life, they'll come. That's how I felt about some of my friends that I've kind of had to let go of. I had a couple really like good friends that I just had to let them go. Oh my God. Don't tell me crap. Are you shitting me? Oh. Gotta be kidding me. We have a bleeder! Oh no. You know, wash this out a little bit. That's not good. Oh. I'm glad I started the hot water here. Ooh, that's not good. All right. Ugh. I poked myself with a nail. That's not good. I'm your Huckleberry. That's not good. That's definitely not good. Crap. Crapola. Okay, where did the thumb go? Oh. Ha! Thumb's back. Okay. Let's try this again. This time, let's not poke ourselves with the nails. Okay. Gotta be a little more careful. Yeah. Okay. Okay, gotta move the 55-inch TV a little bit. Now I gotta take up this, which I partially did already. Now I gotta get the rest of it. So let's move you guys over with me over here. Moving on up. Okay, now it's a little darker over here. Let me see. Aha! Got a light. Okay. So put a little light on. Now we gotta finish this trim piece, get it out. So, there we go. There we go. That one is being stubborn. There we go. And damn. Okay. Come on, yeah, there we go. I don't care if I break these realistically because they're cheap to replace, but now, okay. There we go. All right, so we almost got this out. Let's move the camera. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay. Whew. Okay, maybe I should just cut those sections out for now. So I'll cut those sections out, and that'll probably be the best way to do it. Woo! Ooh, doggy. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I ain't gonna waste enough of your guys' night. I'll finish it up and I'll do a video on the other channel and this channel later. All right. Maybe turn to the AI a little bit later.